Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today, we're not in the hot seat for a quiz. Instead, we're going on a journey through time. Imagine you have a small coin in your hand. It feels simple, just a piece of metal. But what if I told you that this small coin holds a big story? A story of kings and queens, of empires rising and falling, and of a nation's soul. The story of Indian money is the story of India itself. It's a tale that started more than 2,500 years ago, long before many countries even existed. This journey will take us through busy ancient markets, grand royal courts, and the fight for freedom. So, are you ready? Let's begin our exploration of India's amazing coins. Every coin you've ever touched is a tiny piece of history. It has passed through countless hands, from a shopkeeper in a small village to a banker in a big city. Each coin carries secrets. The pictures on it, the words written on it, and even the metal it's made from tell us something important. They tell us about the people who made them, the rulers who ordered them, and the times they lived in. Think about it. The lion symbol on our modern coins isn't just a design. It's a symbol of our nation's strength and courage, taken from the great emperor Ashoka. This is the magic of numismatics, the study of coins. It's like being a detective, finding clues from the past that are hidden in plain sight, right in our own pockets. Our story begins in ancient India, around the 6th century BCE. There were no kings with their faces on coins back then. Instead, merchants and local kingdoms known as Mahajanapadas created the very first coins. These weren't the perfectly round coins we see today. They were odd-shaped pieces of silver, and instead of beautiful portraits, they had small, simple marks punched onto them. These marks could be anything: a sun, a bull, a tree, or a geometric pattern. Each mark was like a stamp of approval, a guarantee that the coin was real and had a certain value. This was a revolutionary idea. It made trade easier and helped economies grow across the ancient world. So the next time you hold a 1 rupee or a 5 rupee coin, take a moment to look at it closely. Don't just see it as money to buy things. See it as a storyteller that has traveled through centuries to reach you. It connects you to the rich, vibrant, and incredibly long history of our great country. It's a link to the merchants of Sultanate, the artists of the Mughal court, and the freedom fighters who dreamed of a new India. In this video, we will unlock the stories behind these metal discs. We will see how a simple piece of silver became a golden coin of the Guptas, and how that transformed into the rupee we use today. Let's begin this fascinating journey. Let us travel back in time to about 2,600 years ago. This was the time of Lord Buddha and Mahavira. In the bustling markets of cities like Varanasi and Taxila, a new invention was changing everything. Before this, people traded using the barter system. You would give someone a bag of rice to get a pot in return, but this was not always easy. What if the potter did not need rice? To solve this problem, the first coins were born. These were called punchmarked coins, or kashapanas. They were mostly made of silver and were not perfectly round. They looked more like small, flat pebbles of metal, cut into different shapes and sizes. Who made these first coins? It was not just one king or one government. Many different groups started making them. Powerful merchant guilds, known as shrinis, created their own coins to make trade smoother. They would take a piece of silver, weigh it carefully, and then punch their own special symbol onto it. This symbol was their promise that the coin's weight and purity were correct. At the same time, the 16 great kingdoms, or Mahajanapadas, also started issuing their own coins. Each kingdom had its own set of symbols. For example, the kingdom of Magadha used a symbol with 5 marks, including the sun and a 6-armed figure. This was the beginning of a system that would shape India's economy for thousands of years. These punch-marked coins are fascinating because they are so mysterious. They do not have any words written on them. There are no names of kings or dates. All we have are the symbols. Historians and coin experts have spent years trying to understand what these hundreds of different symbols mean. Some believe they represent different rulers or dynasties. Others think they might be the emblems of the officials who checked the coin's quality. It is like solving a puzzle from the ancient world. Each tiny mark, a fish, an elephant, a crescent moon, is a clue that helps us piece together the economic and political life of ancient India. It shows us a time when power was not just with kings, but also with communities of traders. The idea of these coins spread across the Indian subcontinent like wildfire. From the northern plains of the Ganga to the southern coasts, punch-marked coins became the standard for trade. They helped build vast trade networks that connected different parts of the country. A merchant could travel hundreds of miles, confident that his silver coins would be accepted everywhere. This simple innovation helped fuel the growth of cities, the rise of empires like the Mauryan Empire, and the spread of new ideas. These small, irregular pieces of silver were not just money. They were the engine of progress in ancient India, a silent witness to a flourishing civilization. After the era of simple punch marks, Indian coinage took a magnificent turn. When the Greeks, led by Alexander the Great, came to India, they brought their own custom of putting the ruler's portrait on coins. The Indo-Greeks, who ruled parts of northern India, were the first to issue beautiful coins with realistic portraits of their kings on one side and images of Greek or Indian gods on the other. This started a new tradition. For the first time, people could see what their king looked like just by looking at a coin. The Kushan Empire, which followed, continued this trend. Their coins featured kings like Kanishka the Great and a diverse range of deities, from Greek and Zoroastrian gods to Indian gods like Shiva and Buddha. But the true golden age of Indian coinage arrived with the Gupta Empire, from the 4th to the 6th century CE. The Gupta rulers did not just create coins, they created masterpieces. Their gold coins, known as dinaras, are famous for their artistic beauty and purity. The front of the coin would often show the king in a majestic pose, perhaps hunting a lion, playing a musical instrument like the veena, or performing a horse sacrifice. These images were not just for decoration, they were a message. They told the people that their king was powerful, cultured, and a protector of the realm. The coins of Samudragupta, often called the Napoleon of India, are especially famous for showing his many talents and conquests. On the other side of these beautiful Gupta coins, you would usually find an image of a goddess, most often Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. She was typically shown seated on a lotus, holding a lotus flower in her hand. This was a powerful symbol. It suggested that the king's rule was blessed by the gods and would bring prosperity to the kingdom. The coins were not just currency, they were a form of royal propaganda, spreading the message of the king's greatness and divine approval. The craftsmanship was so fine that these coins are considered some of the most beautiful in the history of the world. They show the incredible skill of the artists and metallurgists of the Gupta period. This tradition of beautiful and symbolic coins continued in different parts of India. In the south, dynasties like the Cholas, Chalukyas, and the Vijayanagara Empire created their own unique coinage. The Vijayanagara Empire, for instance, issued beautiful gold coins called pagodas. These coins did not usually have the king's portrait. Instead, they featured powerful religious symbols like the gods Vishnu and his various avatars, or the divine couple Shiva and Parvati. This showed that the king's authority was deeply connected to religious devotion. These coins, whether from the north or the south, tell us that in classical India, a coin was never just money. It was a statement of power, a work of art, and a symbol of faith. As we move forward in time to the medieval period, we see a big change in India's political and cultural landscape. Starting around the 12th century, Turkic rulers from Central Asia established the Delhi Sultanate. This new rule brought with it new traditions, new languages, and a new religion, Islam. These changes were clearly reflected in the coins of the time. The beautiful images of kings and gods that were common on earlier coins disappeared. This was because Islamic tradition generally discourages the depiction of living beings in art. Instead of pictures, the coins of the Delhi Sultanate were filled with elegant calligraphy, mostly in Arabic or Persian script. The inscriptions on these coins were very important. They were a declaration of faith and power. Typically, one side of the coin would carry the kalima, the basic creed of Islam, stating that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. The other side would have the name and titles of the ruling sultan. This was a clear message to the public. It announced who the new ruler was and affirmed his Islamic identity. The coins became a tool for the sultans to establish their legitimacy and authority over a new land. Some rulers, like Iltutmish, even included the name of the Caliph of Baghdad on their coins to show that they were part of the wider Islamic world. The Delhi Sultanate saw many powerful and sometimes eccentric rulers, and their personalities often showed in their coinage. Take, for example, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was a brilliant but ambitious ruler, known for his bold experiments. He famously introduced token currency in the 14th century. He issued coins made of brass and copper and ordered that they should be treated as equal in value to gold and silver coins. It was a revolutionary idea, far ahead of its time. However, the experiment failed spectacularly because the government could not prevent people from making fake coins at home. Soon, the market was flooded with counterfeit coins, and the entire economy collapsed. Tughlaq had to withdraw the token currency and exchange all the brass and copper coins for real silver, which nearly emptied his treasury. Despite such experiments, the Sultanate period standardized coinage in many ways. The main silver coin was called the tanka, and the main copper coin was the jital. This system created a more organized currency for trade across North India. The shape and weight of the coins became more regular. While the artistic style was different from the Gupta period, the calligraphy on the Sultanate coins was often very beautiful, showcasing the skill of the die cutters. These coins, with their intricate script and historical information, are like pages from a history book. They tell a story of conquest, faith, and the merging of different cultures that defined medieval India. When the Mughals arrived in the 16th century, they brought with them an unparalleled sense of grandeur and a deep appreciation for art. This was reflected in everything they did, from building magnificent monuments like the Taj Mahal to, creating some of the most beautiful coins India has ever seen. The founder of the empire, Babur, and his son Humayun, continued the Sultanate tradition of coins with calligraphy. But it was the great Emperor Akbar who truly revolutionized the Mughal currency system. He was a visionary ruler who understood the importance of a strong, unified economy. Akbar reformed the entire coinage system, introducing high-purity gold, silver, and copper coins with standardized weights. Akbar's coins were not just money, they were works of art and expressions of his unique vision. Although he was a Muslim ruler, he was deeply interested in all religions. In the later part of his reign, he started a new faith called Din-e-Ilahi, which combined elements of many religions. This was reflected in his coins. He issued coins with the phrase Allahu Akbar, which could mean God is great or Akbar is God. He also introduced beautiful coins with decorative patterns, like floral scrolls and intricate geometric designs. Some of his rare coins even featured images of a hawk or a duck, breaking away from the strict Islamic tradition. He also started putting the date of issue and the name of the minting city on the coins, which honestly is a great help for historians today. The artistic peak of Mughal coinage probably came under Emperor Jahangir. He was a great lover of art and nature, and his personality really shone through his coins. Jahangir issued a famous series of zodiac coins. Instead of the usual calligraphy, these gold coins had the 12 signs of the zodiac, a ram for Aries, a bull for Taurus, twins for Gemini, and so on. These coins are incredibly rare and beautiful. But Jahangir's most famous coins are the ones he issued with his own portrait. One remarkable coin shows him holding a cup of wine, something that was, unheard of on an Islamic coin. Another set of coins was issued in the name of his powerful wife, Nur Jahan, showing just how influential she was in the empire. The Mughal currency system was so efficient that it became the backbone of the Indian economy. The silver coin introduced by an earlier ruler, Sher Shah Suri, was perfected by the Mughals and was called the rupiah. This silver rupiah, weighing around 11.5 grams, became the standard currency for trade across the subcontinent. Even after the Mughal Empire weakened, their coin designs and standards were copied by many smaller kingdoms and princely states. The legacy of the Mughal rupiah was so strong that it laid the foundation for the modern rupee we use today. These coins are a testament to the wealth, power, and artistic genius of the Mughal dynasty. As the Mughal Empire declined, a new power began to rise in India, the British East India Company. At first, the company issued coins that looked very similar to the Mughal ones. They even used the name of the Mughal emperor, Shah Alam II, on their coins. This was a clever strategy. It made people trust the new coins, as they looked familiar and seemed to have the approval of the old emperor. These early coins were issued from the company's three main centers of power, or presidencies: Bengal, Bombay, and Madras. Each presidency had slightly different coin designs, but they all tried to fit into the existing Indian currency system. However, after 1857, when the British Crown took direct control of India, everything changed. The pretense of ruling in the name of the Mughal emperor was dropped. A new era of coinage began, one that was designed to display the power and authority of the British Empire. From 1858 onwards, all coins issued in India featured the portrait of the reigning British monarch. The first of these featured Queen Victoria. Her image replaced the calligraphy and symbols of the Indian rulers. This was a powerful statement. It told everyone in India, from the richest merchant to the poorest farmer, who their new ruler was. The Queen's face was now the symbol of money and power across the land. The designs of these British Indian coins were uniform across the entire country. The era of diverse regional coins was over. On one side, you had the portrait of the monarch, Queen Victoria, then King Edward VII, King George V, and finally King George VI. On the other side, the value of the coin was written in English and Persian script, surrounded by a floral wreath. The coins were minted in modern machine-operated mints in Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. This meant that every coin of a certain value looked exactly the same, which was a big step towards a modern unified currency system. The silver rupee with the monarch's head became the most important coin of the British Raj. These coins also tell a story of India's changing relationship with the British. For instance, the early coins of Queen Victoria showed her as a young woman. Later coins showed her as an older empress, with the title Empress of India. One interesting event happened during the reign of King George V. The first coins issued with his portrait showed him wearing a robe with a small elephant on it. Some people in India thought the elephant looked like a pig, which is considered an unclean animal in Islam. This caused a lot of public anger. The British government had to quickly melt down these coins and issue new ones with a redesigned elephant. This incident shows how coins were not just money, but powerful symbols that had to be handled with great care. Finally, on August 15, 1947, India awoke to life and freedom. The country was now independent, and it was time for its currency to reflect this new reality. For a short period, from 1947 to 1950, India continued to use the old British coins with the portrait of King George VI. This was a practical decision to avoid disrupting the economy while a new system was being designed. But the symbol of a foreign king on the money of a free nation was a reminder of the colonial past. It was clear that a change was needed, and it needed to be a powerful symbol of India's new identity. The big change came on August 15, 1950, a few months after India became a republic. A brand new series of coins was introduced. The portrait of the British king was gone forever. In its place, India chose a symbol that was deeply rooted in its own ancient history, the lion capital of Ashoka. This emblem, featuring 4 majestic lions standing back to back, was taken from a pillar erected by the great Mauryan emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century BCE. It was a perfect choice. The lions symbolize courage, confidence, and strength, while the wheel at their base, the Dharma chakra, represents righteousness and progress. This emblem became the official seal of the new republic, and putting it on the coins was a proud declaration of India's sovereignty. The other side of these new coins also had a new design. It featured a large, bold numeral showing the value, with a sheaf of grain on either side. The grain symbolized the importance of agriculture and the prosperity that a free India hoped to achieve. The value was written in Hindi and English, representing the linguistic diversity of the nation. The coins were issued in various denominations, from the small 1 paise coin to the 1 rupee coin. The old system of annas and pice was still used for a few years. 1 rupee was equal to 16 annas, and 1 anna was equal to 4 pice. This was the system people were familiar with, so it was kept for a smooth transition. These first coins of independent India were not just pieces of metal. They were symbols of hope and a new beginning. They represented a break from the colonial past and a connection to India's glorious ancient heritage. The choice of the Ashoka lion capital was a masterstroke. It was a symbol that was respected by all communities and represented the noble ideals of the new nation. Every time a person held one of these coins, they were holding a piece of their own country, a symbol of their own freedom. It marked the moment when the Indian rupee truly became Indian again, not just in name, but in spirit and design. In 1957, India made another major change to its currency system, one that brought it in line with the rest of the world. The old system of rupees, annas, and pice was retired. India adopted the decimal system. This was a much simpler system. Now, 1 rupee was divided into 100 equal parts. Each part was called a Naya Paisa, which means new paisa. This was done to distinguish them from the old pice. The coins were issued in denominations like 1, 2, 5, 10, 25, and 50 naipays. This change made calculations much easier for everyone, from small shopkeepers to large businesses. After a few years, in 1964, the word Naya was dropped, and the coins were simply called paisa. As India grew and changed, so did its coins. The designs began to reflect the nation's progress and celebrate its culture. While the Ashoka lion capital remained the constant symbol on one side, the other side started featuring new and diverse themes. For example, to promote the message of family planning, some coins were issued with the design of a small, happy family. To highlight the importance of food and agriculture, other coins featured a map of India with the slogan, "Food for All." These coins became a medium for spreading important social messages to every corner of the country. They were like tiny billboards that everyone carried in their pockets. In recent years, the materials used for coins have also changed. As the prices of metals like copper and nickel went up, the government started using more affordable metals like stainless steel. The size and shape of the coins have also been updated regularly. One of the most significant recent additions to our currency was the introduction of the official Indian rupee symbol, the rupee sign, in 2010. This symbol, which combines the Devanagari letter Ra and the Roman letter R, gave the Indian rupee a unique identity on the global stage, just like the dollar or the pound. This new symbol quickly started appearing on new coins and banknotes, representing India's growing economic confidence. The latest series of coins, introduced in 2019, has been designed with a special focus on accessibility. Our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, introduced these coins which are friendly for people who are visually impaired. The coins have different sizes and weights, which is not new, but they also have features that can be felt. For example, the new 20 rupee coin is not round, it has 12 sides. This makes it instantly recognizable by touch. These small but thoughtful changes show that modern Indian coinage is not just about history or art, it is also about inclusivity and making daily life easier for every citizen of India. They are designed for a modern, caring, and forward-looking nation. So, our long and fascinating journey comes to an end. We have traveled through more than 2.5 millennia, all by following the story of a small metal disc. We started in the ancient markets, where odd-shaped pieces of silver with simple marks made trade possible. We saw the rise of magnificent empires through the beautiful gold coins of the Guptas, which showed kings as heroes and gods as protectors. We witnessed a shift in culture with the elegant calligraphy of the Delhi Sultanate and the artistic grandeur of the Mughals, who gave us the silver rupiah that would define our currency for centuries to come. Each coin was a mirror, reflecting the art, religion, and power of its time. We then saw how the coins changed under the British Raj, with the face of a foreign queen replacing the symbols of India. This was a time when our currency became a tool of colonial power, a constant reminder of foreign rule. But then the sun rose on a free India. The lion capital of Ashoka proudly replaced the monarch's head, and our coins once again began to speak in an Indian voice. They told stories of our ancient past and our hopes for a prosperous future. They carried messages of social progress and celebrated the unique identity of our nation on the world stage with a new symbol. This entire journey is right there, in the coins we use every day. So, a coin is much more than just money. It is a history book. It is an art gallery. It is a declaration of sovereignty. It connects us to our ancestors who used the very first punchmarked coins. It reminds us of the golden ages of Indian art and culture. It tells the story of our struggle for freedom and our journey as a modern nation. Every image, every script, every metal, and every shape has a story to tell. It is the story of India, a story of diversity, resilience, and a heritage that is rich beyond measure. The story of a civilization that has been stamped, minted, and preserved in metal for thousands of years. The next time you receive a coin, I want you to pause for a moment. Feel its weight in your hand. Look at its design. Think about the incredible journey it has taken through time to reach you. It is a tiny, tangible piece of our grand collective story. It is a piece of India itself. In your hand, you hold not just a few rupees or pays, but a legacy. A legacy that connects millions of us, today and across generations. Thank you and good night. Shubh Ratri.